Well, good day, my friends. It's your old pal Jordan the Lion. Today we are at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino right here in Tampa, Florida. I love the Hard Rock because I love all of the cool rock memorabilia that they always display around the place. So that's what we're here to check out today. Days with Jordan the Lion and you all. It begins right now. I have not done any spoilers for myself for this except for I saw a photo. They have like a gold Elvis piano I want to check out. Other than that, everything's gonna be a mystery. Oh, I love the doors. Door handles are a flying V. Over here in the display, as soon as we walk in, they're honoring Les Paul, the great Les Paul, whose name is synonymous with the electric guitar. Owned this Epiphone version of his namesake. It was among the last guitars he played before he passed away in 1994. That was my first question I was gonna say is I'm like, why did they use an Epiphone instead of a regular Les Paul? But because it was his. Then here they have Pat Boone's shoes that he had once signed. Looks like they're a little worn out, but it says, these white buck shoes, his signature footwear, were owned and worn by legendary crooner Pat Boone. Here they have Carl Perkins blue suede shoes right there. It's kind of cool to see. The reflections make it a little tricky to show everything the way I want to, but it says, Tiptonville, Tennessee, Carl Lee Perkins walked off the farm and into Sun Studios in 1955 to record what would become the most famous iconic song in rock, blue suede shoes. Here they have a bass that was owned by Brian Wilson, and he signed it upside down, but it's kind of worn out. Fender Music Master bass. This gold guitar right here belonged to Elliot Easton of the Cars. So with massive hits like Drive and Just What I Needed and You Might Think, dozens more, the Boston-based group, the Cars are one of the leading acts of the new wave era. And then this sparkling jacket of amazingness is Chris Jericho's a Fozzy. It says, Canadian 8-time professional wrestling world champion Chris Jericho. Well, now it's 9. Known for his talents in the ring and out of the ring, he's the lead singer and founder of the gold record-selling heavy metal band Fozzy. Jericho demonstrates that he is an accomplished performer in all aspects of his career. This is the prototype for his famous custom light-up jackets, which became a staple of his stage wear. Then in here we have a bass that was Nikki Sixx's bass. He's signed it from Motley Crue to Gibson Thunderbird. And then right above it, they have a guitar signed by Richie Sambora, longtime guitarist of Bon Jovi, on again, off again. Used this Fender Stratocaster on stage during the Japanese and European legs of the Crush Tour in 2000. And he donated it to the Hard Rock the following year. Then this shirt says the Red Rocker. It's Sammy Hagar's. Few rock vocalists have had the longevity and the success of Sammy Hagar, who once fronted the band Montrose, had a solo career in the 80s and joined Van Halen for their most commercially successful period in the band's history. He wore this in the Runaround video. Over here they have the bass of Roger Glover from Deep Purple. Pioneering act of the heavy metal scene, Deep Purple combined incredible musicianship with seriously aggressive approach to a unique sound. Bassist Roger Glover used this Steinberger bass on stage during Deep Purple's 1995 tour. And here we have some of Alice Cooper's boots that he wore on stage. Brown boots. And then that whole suit was worn by Eric Clapton. Says it was, he's a longtime fan of Italian suits. This was part of his personal wardrobe. And then up here they have John Kay of Steppenwolf's guitar, trying to get it without the glare. If they have that much cool stuff and we haven't even entered the casino, you know it's gonna be good. This is Tom Kiefer of Cinderella's guitar. Though often lumped in with the hair metal bands of the 80s, Cinderella was a bluesy rock and roll outfit with real soul. Frontman Tom Kiefer owned this unusual Gibson Les Paul recording model in the 90s. They have some snakeskin boots up here, and it says they're worn by the group Pantera, but it doesn't say who. I don't know if those were Vinnie's or Dimebags or whose. And these black shoes are Joe Perry's from Aerosmith. Definitely some 80s with that thin little Velcro strap up top. I mean, I would guess anyway. This is awesome. This is worn by Steve Vai, one of the greatest guitar players of all time. Definitely one of the greatest, and always dressed really cool on stage. Cool jackets, cool hats. To his wide-ranging sideman work and successful solo career, Steve Vai has proven himself a player of almost superhuman ability. Oh no, they say that he wore this in the 2000 tour, his 2000 World Tour. I was like, if he wore this, that was pretty forward-thinking fashion for the early 80s if he wore this with Frank Zappa, but no. This is cool. This is worn by Fleetwood Mac's Stevie Nicks. Vocalist and solo superstar Nicks owned and wore this corset dress. She brought it from a shop owned by her mother. Neat. Very cool to see. Stevie Nicks. And then we got Jimi Hendrix over here. Saying this colorful scarf in here on display was Jimi Hendrix in the late 60s. Doesn't say specifically where he wore it or anything, but not hard to believe. And then this belt in here on display is Joni Mitchell's right there. So she's widely regarded as one of the most important artists of the classic rock era, and her influence echoes well into the 21st century. She wore and owned this stylish belt. And then this bass belonged to John Cale of the Guess Who had a hit with American Woman. It says Jim Cale used this 1966 precision bass on their studio recordings. Over here we have a dress worn by Cher. One and only. It says knit poncho outfit. Nearly as famous in the world of fashion as in the music world, Cher has served as muse for a number of major designers, most notably Bob Mackie. Yeah, Bob Mackie was doing like the Sonny and Cher stuff, and he was also doing Carol Burnett stuff for the Carol Burnett show. Let's see what we have down here. Of course, they have restaurants and things like that. Oh, I see some guitars on display. Carrie Underwood, country singer Carrie Underwood was undeniably the most successful artist to emerge from the American Idol program. She wore this dress when she appeared in the American Music Awards in 2012. And then this was worn by Nicki Minaj. Holy moly. That's an eye catcher. During her Pink Print World Tour of 2015. Then this is worn by Beyonce. And then right next to it, this is something you don't see very often. They have the guitars of Britney Spears' guitarist. This top one, I believe, is Selena Gomez guitarist. He played this during the halftime show in Dallas. Drew Taubenfeld. And then this one was Britney Spears' guitarist. He used this from 2015-2016 World Tour. Wow, this whole display is Rush. So these are both Hughes and Kettner amps, these big giant ones that Alex Lifeson used. They look very steampunk, don't they? They were stage props during their 2010-2011 Time Machine tour. He would put these in front of his traditional amplifier stacks because he liked the steampunk look of it, it says. It says they not only look cool, but they also shot smoke and flames from the attached pipes. Oh, that is awesome. And then Neil Peart, rest his soul. That's his jacket from 1994 Counterparts tour with his name on it. Then they have Geddy Lee's bass over here. Rickenbacker 4001 bass is from his arsenal. The OBXA up there, the keyboard. Addition to being a virtuoso bassist and the band's lead singer, Geddy Lee of Rush, is also the keyboardist of the group. Watching it perform is like seeing a one-man do the work of three. That's cool. Then they have one of Alex Lifeson's Gibson guitars right here. Very cool. Man, that is a really cool, the whole case, a really cool setup for showcasing all of Rush's stuff. Sugar Factory you can check out. Kind of a cool old diner slash candy store feel. And they always have rock and roll lyrics up on the walls. This one's I Don't Know Why I Say Goodbye, I Say Hello. Lady Gaga Road Case from the MTV Awards. They've got Taboo from the Black Eyed Peas shirt, and also looks like he wrote a message on this flag. And then Robin Thicke's suit. Here's a jacket and a guitar from Duran Duran. And they even signed the jacket. You can see it up here in the top. So it says this guitar and the suit was worn by Bon Jovi, by John Bon Jovi. It's like a leather shirt and a Guild, what looks like a Dimebag Darrell Dean style guitar. Owned by Bon Jovi guitarist Richie Sambora, but played by John on Alan Thicke's Thick of the Night talk show. Oh, Alan Thicke. Oh, wow. So this is going back to 1984. And it was the band's first national television appearance. So that's the guitar he played for his very first national appearance ever. And this was, looks like a Stray Cat vest worn by Slim Jim Phantom, even though they have a picture of Brian Setzer. And it says that Slim Jim wore this on the Rock Therapy album. This is all Clapton stuff. It says he wore this during the 1990-91 tour. And he signed the guitar. So this probably would have been right around Tears in Heaven, or maybe right before the Tears in Heaven years. And these were used and worn by Neil Diamond. It's a mauve shirt worn during his Beautiful Noise tour in 1979. And the guitar was one that he used in the 90s that they acquired from one of his old assistants. T-Rex, Mark Bolan. This is crazy. You never see Mark Bolan stuff, really. So to see this nudie style jacket, everything is so cool. And the pants don't make any sense with this, which is why he did it, probably, because he's that awesome. It says mint green custom made jacket and trousers. And I guess they considered this green as well. I wouldn't have. But he wore this in 1972 Apple film Born to Boogie, and the film was directed by Ringo Starr. This display is a jersey that Joe Walsh was presented by the Tampa Bay Lightning in the 90s. Wow. Worn by Keith Moon. Stitched shirt, like stitched leather top. So it's kind of like a jacket, but not necessarily. And then, I hate to say it, but he looked like he peed himself. He very well may have. I mean, he drank a lot. It's not unthinkable. So it's matching pants and matching top with pee stains. Said he wore these at the Santa Monica Rock Music Awards in 1975 on August 9th. And then this jacket, tan suede jacket, says it was worn by Jimi Hendrix. It was Jimmy's jacket that he later gave to Noel Redding's sister Vicky. Noel, of course, was in his band. Says the type lyrics to Are You Experienced are framed, but Jimmy has signed them at the bottom. This display with the brown jacket is Frank Sinatra, Old Blue Eyes jacket. And they have next to it, some sheet music that is heavily faded, but he has signed it. You can faintly see some music notes back there. Wow. Another wow moment. 1958 Elvis Presley dark green U.S. Army dress uniform, coat, and hat worn in Germany when he was stationed in Germany. There's a photo of him wearing it up there. That is so cool. Always love to see some Elvis history. And then this last one is like a forest green three-piece suit, and it was worn by Tom Jones on stage. No sign of the Elvis piano yet. I'm gonna go to the first floor and see if it's there. When you come in through the parking garages, they pretty much drop you off on the second floor. The casino itself is very cool though. Seeing, oh yeah, there we go. Here's some stuff. Paul McCartney of the Beatles jacket and suit right here, it says. Wow. Hard Day's Night. Then over here is Bette Midler's gown from 1977. She wore this while performing the Edith Piaf classic La Vie en Rose during her television special, Old Red Hair is Back. This costume right here, the snakeskin looking stuff, Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. Part of his stage attire. And this was Nicki Minaj's for the Pink Point tour, or Pink Print tour, like we saw the stuff upstairs that was pink. Same tour. Coffee shop. Let's see. Leland Sklar, that's awesome. He has a fantastic YouTube channel. This is so cool to see this is in here. He played on tons of stuff. He played, the stuff I remember is like the Jackson Browne stuff. He played on Running on Empty. He played like Sussudio with Phil Collins. So he was, yeah, he's a pretty heavy studio musician. Look at the tops. There's a casino over here I'm gonna hit at some point. All right, they're working on this escalator so I couldn't take it down, but I had a feeling the Elvis piano had to be down here somewhere, and there it is. Look at this, oh my gosh. Gold piano with a lot of information about it. It says, jaw-dropping grand piano adorned with 24-karat gold leaf belonged to one and only King, Elvis Presley. Originally manufactured by Kimball in 1928, Elvis purchased it secondhand for his mother in 1955. At the time, the instrument had a humble walnut finish, much like any number of homes that would have had in the 50s. Elvis moved the piano to Graceland after his mother passed away, and Priscilla had the gold leaf added as a gift for their first wedding anniversary in 1968. The instrument is a perfect example of the King's grandiose aesthetic at the height of his fame, and is one of the true treasures of Hollywood hard rock collection. Very cool. Let's see if it says that all the way around, because I'm noticing there's several plaques going around it. Oh, that is beautiful. So it's nice to see something that she did for their wedding anniversary here on display. Looks really nice, actually. And all the way around, all the plaques say the same thing. Everything that I just read to you, so. They do have some of his lyrics up here. I mentioned all around the place they have rock and roll lyrics. It says, I just can't miss with a good luck charm like you. Just off to the side of the piano, they have this guitar. It says it's a Gibson Dove. It belonged to Elvis Presley and was used on stage during the latter part of his career in the 70s. And you can see on the pickguard, there's a dove, which is why it was called the Dove. I was gonna say I've never heard that before. I've never heard of the Dove, but it also has it down here on the bridge. Down here, there's a couple of doves. There's one up here. And then at the very top, it says Dove on the headstock as well. And then this guitar on the other side says, this killer old 1957 Gibson J200 was featured in the film Elvis and Me. I have an exact replica of that guitar myself. I love it. Very cool to see. And they have more costumes we haven't seen, so let's go see them. This costume right here in the center where you check in, it kind of, look at the floor. It's like a keyboard. I just noticed that, like the piano keyboard. This is Lady Gaga's. that she wore for the halftime show of the Super Bowl in 2017. So it's kind of cool, but it looks like, I was gonna say when I walked up, I'm like, looks like it's made out of shoulder pads. And it pretty much is. This is the other side of it. This is a really cool display because it's 3 really nice suits, 3 completely different people you would never think of together. Down here we have Sammy Davis Jr. He was the triple threat because he could sing, dance, and act. This was his custom suit from Cerro of Beverly Hills. Next to it we have Steve Vai, who played for Frank Zappa, David Lee Roth, Whitesnake. This was one of his performing costumes. And then down here at the end was Todd Rundgren's suit. Would not have guessed that one just by looking at it, but nice collection. When I was in Iceland, I went to the Icelandic Museum of Rock and Roll, and the only name I knew in there was Bjork, and this is Bjork's. She wore this dress during her 2015-2017 Vulnicura tour. And this was Lady Gaga's that she wore during a press conference that she gave in Vegas, 2011. It's like a fishnet kind of deal. And then this was Britney Spears, which looks like almost like a sweatsuit, a blinged out sweatsuit. All right, let's do some more looking around. This place is great. They've done a great job. I knew it being a major city like Tampa that they would definitely have a cool display or have some really known stuff in here. Haven't seen anything at Prince's yet. Never say never though. We have some stuff right here. Alicia Keys, worn by Alicia Keys and Don Carlos of Black Uhuru, which is a reggae group I'm not familiar with very much, but this is his 1994 sparkly suit. And when they're not showing musical instruments or costumes, lots of art all over the walls. This is cool. This is Flea's bass from Red Hot Chili Peppers. Used it for the Californication tour. And then similar to it is Blues Saraceno's. He's kind of like I know he played with Poison a little bit. He did some stuff with Cream, but I always knew him as kind of like a solo artist. Very cool. This one's crazy because it kind of looks like Jim Morrison performing in front of fire. And LA's on fire right now, so it just, I don't know. I don't often play the slot machines, but sometimes I do, and I think I probably will today. I do like that all over the place, whenever they need to make like stanchions, they're always guitars. All right, come in here and we found some gold records. We found a great Elton John 1970 at Fillmore West concert poster. Look at this. This is amazing. The whole wall, Robert Plant, Jimmy Page. It's a bummer because talk about a amazing super group. The other two guys definitely, John Paul Jones and John Bonham, definitely deserve to be added in here, but this is epic. Jimmy Page playing the double neck guitar. Got some more gold records, which I feel like we've seen so many of those. Those are almost like insignificant. Quicksilver Messenger Service, playing the Avalon Ballroom. These are all old San Francisco. Fleetwood Mac at the Fillmore West, January 3rd, 1969. Wow, and that's when Lindsay and Stevie would have just joined the band. They originally had their own record deal before this. It was Buckingham Nicks. Then they joined Fleetwood Mac. Steve Miller Band. Yes, the Grateful Dead. Also at the Avalon Ballroom. Truly epic. Jerry and Pigpen. Gotta love it. Rest your soul, Phil. Oh, so cool. And then right behind us, they have Iron Butterfly and Agata Davida. So this hallway that leads you to the elevators has wall-to-wall Paul Stanley of Kiss. He's got the beautiful star-studded guitar he always uses, and they have it on display here. He's had many of them, pretty much like one every tour, but this is the one from, it says rhinestone-studded Ibanez. And this one was the one that he used on the 1996-97 Alive World Tour. First time when the original members got back together since 1979. Let me tell you a little sweet story about that. It's Eric Singer's fault that happened. Eric Singer, who was the last drummer for Kiss, he was actually the one when they were going to do Unplugged that said, hey, it'd be nice to invite the other guys to come up and do a couple of songs. You know, the fans would love it. They would hope that we would, you know, that something like that would happen. And so they decided to invite Peter and Ace to come do it. And after the reception that everybody got and everything, I asked Eric, I said, did you know then that you had pretty much talked your way out of a job? And he said, yeah, I did. He said, I knew the writing was on the wall. Like, even though it was a good thing for the fans and for Kiss and everything, I did realize I probably have lost my job. And he did. He lost it from 96 to, like, I want to say he came back in 2001 or something like that, 2002, and played with them until they retired in 2024. No, the end of 2023. That is a cool guitar, Paul's guitar. All right, now we're going to go to the other side of the casino. There's like 4 or 5 different ways you can enter in different parts of the casino, so let's see what they have over here. Here is a denim outfit. The star of Wicked, Ariana Grande. Here they have Avril Lavigne, one of her 2008 stage costumes. Oh, this is sad. Guitar signed by Jimmy Buffett. Rest in peace, Jimmy. Pride of Florida. This is a giant bathrobe that Clarence Clemens from the E Street Band used to wear on stage. He's a big dude. This one you'd think was Michael Jackson's because it's like silver and gold, or even Elvis's, but it's actually from Sha Na Na. Johnny Contardo from Sha Na Na. That is definitely silver and gold lame. Felix Pappalardi from Mountain. Boy, did he have a sad ending. Very, very sad ending. That was his shirt, performed with Mountain. This display is Joey Kramer from Aerosmith. Before they replaced him, before they booted him out without his permission, his shirt, his sticks, his batting gloves that say Joey Kramer and have the Aerosmith logos on them, and a small drum head from 1993. This is the entrance to the restaurant. Look at this. Wow. It says this is a great example of a nudie made suit for Elvis. I never saw that before. That's interesting. It says both Nudie and Bill Ballou designed jumpsuits for Elvis. Yeah, I never have seen this. And this is the other side of it. But that guitar is Bo Diddley's. And it's signed down here by him, and it's got his name carved in it up here. He made his home just outside of Gainesville. So he was a Florida boy. Oh, wow. That's Ronnie James Dio's. Holy moly. Definitely Dio. And then they have a Gibson SG signed by Lynyrd Skynyrd. Or some members of Lynyrd Skynyrd. Looks like it's signed by Gary Rossington. This is Trent Reznor's custom-made sweater that he wore for his publicity photos for 1994 Downward Spiral album. I know a lot of people that love 9 Inch Nails. This is Gwen Stefani's costume from No Doubt, which I saw her on like the Tragic Kingdom tour, so she very well could have been wearing this during that tour. So she made these at home. She made her own clothes for this tour at home. This Gibson is signed and played by Eddie Vedder. He signed it down here. That guitar is Mick Mars from Motley Crue. That's pretty cool. It's got all kinds of little like stickers and things on it. Striped Charvel guitar from the 90s. It was built for, it says originally built for Rick James, but wound up in Mick Mars' hands. And then this is Rod Stewart's yellow suit. He wore this for a video he did called the Motown Song. You guessed it, one of Flavor Flav's clocks that he wears around his neck. They're the beats. This is Michael Jackson's hat, his iconic fedora, one of them that he used during the Billie Jean dance for his 1997 World Tour. And the chair that it's sitting on, that white chair, was Janet Jackson's chair for the video Miss You Much. 1989 Miss You Much. That was probably Rhythm Nation. This is supposedly Justin Timberlake's kimono. He wore this in 1989 in a Florida performance with NSYNC. And this white suit here says it was Buddy Holly's. It says Buddy wore this suit while he was out touring in 1957. Wow. Interesting to see. And then this belonged to Diana Ross of the Supremes. And the microphone on the stand is Bette Midler's and signed by Bette Midler. Look at this chair, this Asian chair. It says amongst his many talents, frontman of Queen Freddie Mercury had real style. This antique Chinese chair is from his London home. This Detroit stuff is Eminem's costume right there. That is Bruce Springsteen's black fedora from the 80s. And talk about class. Sammy Davis Jr.'s hat. Isn't that cool? Barbara Streisand's pearls. Liza Minnelli's pearls. This whole costume is Madonna's. Not as surprising as you'd think, I guess. And then Cher's jewelry. Holy moly. That is John Entwistle's bass. 1962 Fender Precision bass. Originally was sunburst finished and he painted it white. And then just past that, it says Skip Spence from Jefferson Airplane, but I knew him from Moby Grape, so it says formerly Jefferson Airplane, Moby Grape. This was his guitar that he ordered and took delivery of in 1966. And then they have Janis Joplin's shawl. So she wore this tasseled silk shawl on stage with the Cosmic Blues Band. And then this beat up acoustic was used in 1985 when he was accompanied by Keith Richards and Ron Wood. They used this old battered Martin. This is what Keith played during Bob Dylan's set, apparently. Also very cool, Jerry Scheff. This was his precision bass he played with Elvis. He also was the bass player for the Doors record, so he played on LA Woman. But he was a longtime member of Elvis's band. I was wondering if we'd see anything of Prince's. It says that this was. The plaque is so small, there's so much writing I can't read it, but it says this was Prince's worn on stage as he was climbing the charts. That's all I can see. Who do you love? Apparently this black acoustic guitar with the stars on the fretboard, This was Bob Dylan's, and he used this on the albums Down in the Groove and Oh Mercy. Pete Townshend's acoustic guitar that he signed, played, and donated to charity. Pinball Wizard himself signed it right there. November of 1992. I'm really glad I walked around the entire casino because I'm finding some really cool stuff. This is James Brown's cape. He wore this while appearing at the Apollo Theater. Wow. Woo. Believe it or not, I think we found another Elvis display. It says this is the blue suit that he wore in Spin Out. The movie Spin Out. Then they have the movie poster for it over here. And the more I look, the more I'm finding. I just found a whole Prince display all by itself. And this definitely, I totally believe this stuff was Prince's. No question about it. He wore it during the 1997-98 Jam of the Year World Tour. And then says that this was his also. Christian Dior. Huh. And there's his little shoes. And then a casual black and white outfit that he would wear. And these were animation stills from Yellow Submarine. All right, my friends, we are gonna call it a day from the Seminole Hard Rock Casino and Hotel here in Tampa, Florida. We will see you next time at somewhere else. But right now, we're gonna leave you at Elvis's piano. Goodbye.